How you doing, guys? Once again, I'm Egnoto and you're watching my YouTube channel, so pretty cool. So I've been doing several videos on galls because they're just so fascinating. Well, here's another type of gall I want to show you. This is called the elm cockscomb gall. And it's named cockscomb gall because when it's fully developed, it turns red, bright red, like the comb of a rooster on top of its head, and it's shaped just like the rooster's comb. It's pretty interesting looking. Inside this gall, once again, are many little aphids, and they have a very similar lifestyle to the other aphids in the witch's hat or witch's comb galls, you know, and but slightly different. Let me show you some of these and we'll have a closer look.
Here's a good gall right here. To me, they look kind of like the back tooth of a deer or something.
Later in the year, the cockscombs will turn this nice, vibrant, rich red. And then later still, they turn into a brown. And then finally a dark brown. But they start off nice and green, sometimes even yellow. So I'm going to show you a closer look now, a more intimate view of these cockscomb gall aphids. So there's the slit on the underside of the leaf. That's where the aphids enter and exit the gall. And as we look inside, you can already see plenty of aphids feasting on the glucose within the gall. You may notice there are several different sizes of aphid present. That's pretty much because aphids undergo a simple metamorphosis, meaning that the juveniles look pretty much the same as the adults, they're just a different size. Gall aphids don't really cause a whole lot of damage to the host plants. It's usually just an eyesore. However, there are species of aphid that do decimate plants. That's why you see a lot of gardeners ordering things like ladybugs, which are natural predators. They just devour aphids. There's plenty of other predator species too, like damsel bugs, assassin bugs, even types of wasps. So there's not a lot of nutrition in the juices of plants. So aphids and other insects like leafhoppers, they have to consume tremendous amounts of the juices of the plants to gain their nutrition. That makes them shed or excrete lots of excess fluids, generally water. In the case of aphids, that fluid is a honeydew, and there are certain things that love it. There are ants, wasps, beetles, all sorts of things that love to feed on that honeydew that they excrete. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the life cycle of these aphids. Pretty much in the spring, what happens in the early spring is there's an egg underneath flaps of bark, single eggs, and they hatch. And the little aphid nymphs will actually crawl out onto these stems looking for the leaf buds that are just starting to form, where the leaves are just starting to develop. And they'll bite into the indifferentiated leaf cells and inject this compound that causes the cell to mutate. That's how you get these galls, okay? The gall forms around the aphid, and it also provides cover, you know, safety and food for the aphid within. And that aphid reproduces asexually, creating many, many aphids, and they actually live in there, okay, until later in the summer when it's pretty warm out. And then what happens is they exit through the little slit at the bottom of the gall. See that little slit there? So they exit through that slit and they go down to the ground, into the meadows and then the grass and stuff, and they feed on the roots of the grasses. During that generation, they will find mates and reproduce sexually. When it starts to get cold, the pregnant females will walk up the slippery elm trees or the elm trees, finding like little loose flaps and crevices in the bark and lay those eggs. Those eggs will overwinter. In the spring, they hatch, and once again the cycle starts all over again. They hatch, the aphid nymphs, the baby aphids, will walk out looking for the baby leaves forming. They'll bite them, cause them to mutate with those compounds. The gall forms around it, and there you have it. The elm cockscomb gall. Pretty neat, aren't they? I love these galls. I mean, you can make a whole series of videos just on galls alone. There are so many. But not all of them come from aphids. Some of them are from little wasps, or flies, or even fungals, or fungi, you know, fungus. So anyhow, Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Once again, I'm Chris Egnoto, signing out.